right there. So, hey everybody, it's Rev with Geeked Out, and I'm here with Rob Mather of Spout Comics. He's also the writer, creator, owner of Wormwood, his first book. So if you haven't seen it, start coming to some cons, and you'll get a chance to read his amazing work and his amazing artwork. He's totally cool. He's awesome, and he offered to sit here and hang out with me, and there it is. I have one of his comics. You totally should support this guy. He's a local comic book artist. It's amazing. So he was nice enough to grant me the opportunity to talk to him about it, like why, what his comic book history was, what inspired him to write his own comics and why he does it, and learn about Rob. So, all right. So, tell me, what was your comic book history? What was your main focus that got you into comics initially?
Well, into comics, I remember going out one Halloween and coming across a neighbor who had a box full of comic books. I mean, I'm sure people have seen it, where, please take one type of thing.
Okay.
And, of course, I'm thumbing through them, not really kind of knowing what to expect. And first comic book I grab is a Spider-Man comic book. And I think that's pretty much what set my road as far as the whole Marvel world with comic books in general. I mean, yeah, I do have exposure from when the Superman cartoon was first introduced, and my dad kind of, dressed up my brothers and I with, Superman stuff and whatnot. So with me being the little brother, of course, I'm going to be chasing around with my dad and my older brother to partake into that as well. Naturally. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Initially I think it was because that one Halloween really kind of set me straight as far as getting into the whole comic book world, really.
So were you more of a Marvel guy or DC Comics? My big thing was I read, I started out comics in Conan the Barbarian, ElfQuest, X-Men, the Uncanny X-Men, Captain America, things like that. Those were my big ones. I wasn't so much of I liked Spider-Man, but I kind of tended to follow more X-Men and stuff like that. I don't know why. I really related to Wolverine. Wolverine, hands down, be one of my most favorite Marvel characters out there.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because who the hell wouldn't want to just get the shit beat out of them and then just bounce back and be now it's my turn.
Yeah.
I would say that X-Men is definitely in my collection of many, many boxes. I wouldn't say embarrassing, but goddamn, I've got a lot of books to where my wife hates it.
Boxes on top of boxes.
Yeah, pretty much. It takes up a lot of space, and I just can't stop getting comic books. I'm a fiend for it. But yeah, X-Men is definitely in there. Spider-Man, definitely one of my top favorites. Batman, of course, especially when I was a young kid, and you got that first Batman movie that came out, and Jack Nicholson just killing it as the Joker. I mean, it was I couldn't help but to, I was mouth out to here with bubble gum, because it came with bubble gum. I get the trading cards and shit like that.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, so it was that definitely probably set my focus into DC a lot was Batman.
Okay.
Definitely got me going in that direction.
Yeah, I like Batman, and he is I think he's a favorite of a lot of people simply because he's a hero without the genetic modifications.
Sure.
He is not anyone could be Batman, because he's obviously got a large budget because he's Bruce Wayne.
Right.
But it does create that hopes, the recent TV series Daredevil, the guy blind. Yeah. Which gave him extra senses. He doesn't really have superpowers, but because he's robbed of one sense, all the other ones are enhanced.
Right.
I do like that idea where there's a hero.
Actually, Daredevil had me convinced that people who would lose a sense would actually gain super senses with the rest of everything else. I was convinced after being introduced to Daredevil in, I think, like junior high or some shit. But yeah, I was pretty sure that, oh, that dude's blind, that means he can like hear a pin drop.
Oh yeah. So what else are you inspired? Because I know you do, like when we met at RageCon, you did some dress up, which I thought was cool. You entered in that cosplay, you did the zombie thing, which that was an amazing zombie outfit, I thought. And then you did the steampunk one the next day, which is even more amazing. I was surprised. Have you always been a fan of cosplay, or is that kind of a new thing? Or?
It is. Just to wind back just a little bit, my first comic book that was recommended to me by the comic book guys down in Boise, Idaho, 1 Million Comics, I think they were once called. He introduced me to Lobo. So Lobo had a huge part in when I went back to Boise for the Tree City Comic Con, where I had bullet shells sticking out of my face as a zombie.
Oh, nice.
Because that's the type of art that's in the Lobo comics.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty raunchy and good, bloody graphics, and it's just all around. Check it out. Lobo's great. But yeah, cosplay was something that was new to me coming here to Reno. Everything has just been basically Halloween driven.
Okay.
But once, seriously, I kind of had to Google what the hell cosplay was, because what the hell are they talking about? It's like, oh, it's like costume play. All right. So, yeah, it was only natural for me to pick up with jumping into the whole genre of, or kind of the pop culture that happened with zombies, for me to get the comic book started.
Okay.
So along with just the manifestation of comprehending how everything was going to kind of play out, I think dressing up was the most natural thing that came to me, because I just love dressing dead, blown up or bloody or something. It's just what I do. So it was. I noticed that through my first Comic Con, which was the Ape City in 2012, was really what kind of got me pushed to get on it.
Oh, okay.
And I did notice that, some people would hire others to kind of dress up and do something. Some people may, do a little bit as far as steampunk people. They like to, they dress up regardless, but it's like the people who do steampunk comics, they also kind of have like a cool hat or glasses or something associated. So it was like, it was right up my alley to say, this is straight up zombies. So it's like I can do whatever I want. And the fun thing about doing zombies or doing cosplay, zombie cosplay, is the fact that I never have to be anything the same once. I always get to switch it up from the bloody rags zombie, from real, I don't know, my eyes white and just a little bit of blood, a little bit of thrashing.
Like
not
more of a
much.
mild
Yeah,
gore.
very mild. And then you like an army zombie, a steampunk zombie. I can't wait to get into the Marvel
construction.
zombie.
You could do whatever you want, or you could be a superhero zombie if you wanted to.
I'm huge into Marvel zombies. That is just a beautiful series that they did. So yeah, one of my biggest things that I'm going to eventually do is get myself a straight up Spider-Man costume, and probably do Marvel Spider-Man or Marvel Zombie Spider-Man probably quite a bit.
Oh wow! When did you start writing? Obviously this is your first one, and I'm not sure how long it's been out. We'll find that out. But when did you kind of first starting to write your own ideas and stuff like that?
When I was in grade school, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
used to write in middle school. But I never really. It was just more fun for me. I don't know. I didn't really see myself as a writer, but I found it fun to make up things,
Yeah.
things like that.
We wouldn't the teachers back in geez, late 80s, they were cool as hell because it was like you would be able to kind of express yourself and not really get nobody would care. Nowadays they'd like commit you or like send you away to another school or some shit, but it's like back then, dude, we were like I would bring in my friends and say, well, so and so got trampled by a rhinoceros or something, and blood was everywhere. Or I killed so and so killed so and so.
Yeah, I miss the 80s.
Yeah, it was talk about freedom, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even close to what's going on nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely a huge stepping stone for me to write creatively with whatever the hell I wanted to write about. And of course, hanging out with buddies and stuff, drawing and just saying, hey, let's hang out, blah, blah, blah. And actually, taking the line paper from your notebooks and just drawing out your little cells and doing a little Bart Simpson theme or something like that. You're just making it totally different, but yet, it was at our disposal to just have whatever hell fun we wanted with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have to say, like, I didn't really submit. A lot of my writing was done outside of school. I just kind of did it at home for something to do.
Right.
I used to draw quite a bit. So when I met you, I was like, man, I can totally relate to that guy. That's I don't have that creativity anymore. Like, I think I let it go too much as I got older.
That is key to everybody who is drawing now, or even at a young age. If you got kids who are drawing, keep drawing. That's like the biggest thing. That you start letting up, you're gonna get behind. You're not gonna be able to do. You're not gonna be able to sit and. I mean, I still have a real hard time sitting still and really just kind of drawing what I'm seeing, because it's like my mind will start imagining shit, and then all of a sudden it starts skewing my picture or whatever. So it's like, yeah, drawing takes a lot of fucking time, and I take my hat off to the people who can just whip it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is cool shit. I love that. I wish I could do it, but then again, it's like I have to really commit to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, we all, like, most of us meet. Like, I work and you work, and so it's hard to find time until you can make it big to where you're able to make it, or you make it to a point where this is all I need to focus on.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I heard another artist say the same thing who came up with a short little 15-minute film, something about the meaning of life or something. And it's just really it's like stick figures and shit, and it's all talking about future and stuff. So it's like the biggest thing about comic books and any sort of like film or short story or whatever, it's like it's got to be a solid story. You got to have a story that's going to reach somebody or make someone think or connect somehow, instead of just being dribble of some bullshit, I don't know, half-assed.
Yeah.
You can go half-assed with art, but not with the story.
No. That's true.
That's me. Or I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can see that, because you see mediocre art out there that it may not be the most shiny and well-defined, and you don't see all the ripples and muscles and things like that, but they're popular, like South Park, for example.
Exactly.
The animation is not that great,
yeah.
but their ability to write on society's satire is amazing.
They are genius. That is fantastic stuff.
How long did it take you to write Wormwood?
If I were to really sit down and commit to it, I could probably knock it out the ballpark in like maybe 3 months. But because of life situations and everything that comes, the unknown paths that come our way, it took me a sad 2 years to whop that thing together. And fail to mention the fact that I had a computer malfunction to where when I went to go transfer stuff, basically when I went to go wipe it, wiped everything. So I had this after getting into page 4, I had to start completely over, and that was with the story and everything. So I'm glad that I'm the type of person who, if I've got a good story going in my head, it stays there, and up until I put it somewhere, it's going to still be up there. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm crazy. The unfortunate thing about that is that, yeah, it will keep me up at night because I'm not initiating it. I'm not putting it somewhere where it needs to go.
Yeah.
In film, art, or comic, whatnot. It's like it just stays with me, and in a way, kind of like demonizes my soul in a way. It just weighs my shit down, and it's like I'm one of those people that, regardless, eventually I got to get to that point where I'm having more fun and being able to get my mind spewed out onto film or paper.
Okay, but so like when you're, say you get an idea or something that comes in your head and you have, do you have that compulsion where you need to write it immediately, or are you still kind of able to hold on to it? Or?
Yeah, some of the times, yeah, I am able to hold on to it. The best thing is when it comes to something that just strikes me, I can usually share it with my wife, and she's like, "Go write it down." So to me, that's her saying, "That's awesome." Good job.
Okay, that's nice.
So it is one of those things where it is congratulations without really congratulating me.
Yeah.
But because it's it being so fluid, and when I first come up with something, it's just, it feels like I've got like power or something, and it just comes so clean and vivid and open and honest, and it's kind of like when I paint, it's coming from the soul kind of a thing, and that's how I feel about my stories, is that it is something that comes from the heart, comes from within, and then you hit the drawing board, and it's like, okay, well shit, now I got to go about trying to manifest a city with these fucking people and put that along the lines of how I want to tell the story. And I think that's probably the most challenging part, is to fit art along with what story you're trying to tell.
Okay. So, like, I mean, I have your comic book, and I'll admit I'm, like, one of those freaks that, like, I hate compromising quality or the integrity of something. So, like, I have it in, like, right here. It's right in my desk right here. It's chilling right here. And I got...
He's not lying, folks.
But, I haven't cracked it open because, like I want to read it, but I'm like, Rob did the...
What am I doing here? You haven't read it.
Rob did the first drawing on it, and
that's true.
I'm like, oh, I really want to read it. I should have bought 2, so I could just have this one as a collectible, and then read the other one,
Right.
And which I probably will do. Buy a second copy for me, so I don't have to compromise that one, and I can keep it safe. Because I like your ideas, and I think that you've got what it takes to, maybe be the next Stan Lee. Who knows? Making big comics and movies.
Yeah, because all he kind of did was come up with, him and his buddies, kind of a thing, came up with the characters and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
it's like, yeah, it comes down to that enriched idea of coming up with someone that everybody can relate to in a way.
So in your book. I don't want to give away too much because I want people to come buy this thing. Are any of the characters, like, say, people that are from real life, like, oh, that guy that really just used to chap my hide, I'm gonna throw him in here and he's gonna get eaten alive?
No, because I don't want to praise any of it. I don't want to praise any of the fucking haters. They can they can eat it.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to the people that are in my story that I go off from, because for instance, let me just. So here's the cover, right? So here. Oh wait, where's my fingers?
There you go.
Okay, so this girl here. Damn it.
Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of that glare.
Okay.
There you go. That's perfect.
Okay. So this girl here is my buddy Hyatt's little girl. This one here, that's me when I had a beard and long hair. The one up on top is my wife.
That one was just some pissed off person I grabbed off the internet. This one here again is me.
Okay.
And then this one here is a baby that a lot of people have seen on the internet where it was like eating a cat for real. So then I just made it to where the baby is actually eating the cat, like literally. So a lot of the people that I use as far as models to get my drawings done of are all my friends and family, all the people that I love most, because they're the ones who support me and I support them.
That's awesome.
And it's awesome for them to be a part of this movement that I'm in with the whole zombie genre, and making it fun for everybody, really.
Okay, that's cool. I think that's awesome that you're able to, in a way, like, you know, praise your family, the people that support you most, and into your passion, you know,
Right.
which is huge. Let's see what else I can think of here. So are you now? Obviously, you've got issue 1 done, and are you like in the process of writing number 2?
It might be in your book that I have a little sleeve in there. That's a little teaser for Wormwood 2. I'm not sure though, but
We'll have to.
it may be in there. But yeah, when it all comes down to zombies, it really was something that I grabbed a hold of when I was probably about 8 years old, and I saw the Return of the Living Dead.
Black and white one?
No, the Return of the Living Dead.
Oh,
that one's the Night of the Living
Night of Living. Yeah, okay, that's right.
So the Return of the
And
Living
see,
Dead.
I do actually have his thing, and I'll show you why. I like it's. You might not be able to see it, but right about here, Rob wrote his own little thing, did a little doodle, and his signature there. So I'm like such a freak about the integrity of things. Like I haven't read his comic yet, which he's probably gonna kill me for, but I will read it because I'm gonna buy a second copy.
It should be like in the front.
Oh, in the very front?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't got one. But it was a little insert that I just kind of shoved there
okay.
in between and just kind of wove it through. That gave a little teaser for Wormwood 2. So yeah, I'm gonna totally have Jesus Christ in there eating people.
Is he gonna be riding a T-Rex?
Yeah, the dinosaurs are going to be implemented, but it's going to go along with the story. With the movies that come out, it kind of gets me freaked out to where it's like, yeah, I need to stay on top of it and get the books pumped out because basically I can see Wormwood from beginning to end. It's in my mind. It's always projecting behind my eyeballs and always playing in my mind at night.
So this is published, right? Like no one can copy this, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
I got a copy written. Wormwood is mine.
That's awesome.
So as far as Wormwood itself goes, it is a biblical term. So really, it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of it was up for the grabbing, because there are other artists out there who have used the word wormwood, but they've also associated the title along with something else. So it's not just straight up Wormwood, which mine is.
Okay.
But yeah, mine is. It's called Wormwood. It's based off the biblical Revelation star that is supposed to basically wipe out the world at the end, at Armageddon.
Okay.
So instead of having it kill everybody, I have it turning everybody into zombies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, what was your inspiration behind the name of Wormwood? And
Right.
and I didn't. I've read the Bible, of course, but I don't remember catching that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just overlook. I mean, that was years ago.
Well, Revelations I thought was the most craziest, coolest part of the whole Bible out of reading it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of your biggest books around the fucking world, so it's like, shit. If I'm gonna read one book, it might as well be the Bible, because somewhere in there everybody is tapped into it, sprouted up another church for it. It's everywhere. It's the biggest book.
It is true, and there's like there's a lot of truth and lessons, and like you said, even inspirations that can come from that, not only in writing areas but in many other areas. So, do you have any other things coming up? I mean, obviously, if you guys didn't know, Rob will be at Great Basin Geek Con October 17th and 18th at Reno Old Town Mall. And you can buy his comic book there. It is completely free to attend, so please come there. I will be there as I am like kind of a board member, I guess you could say, in a sense, of Great Basin Geeks. I help out Michael Ford, and this is where I met this awesome guy through Great Basin Geeks. We were sitting there in the same booth next to each other, and it was awesome. So do you have anything else you'd like to share? Like, any other inspirations that kind of led you to being a writer and... or advice for writers?
Yeah. So grab everything throughout your life that inspires you and keep it. All the positive things. I mean, there's some negative things, but through this writing, like I said, fuck the haters. I have nothing to do with them. So it's like I just go pulling forward with everybody who's been positive in my life. And it's like if I can see somewhere where I can use them in my story, I'm going to be giving them a call saying, hey, dude, I need to borrow your kid, or I need to borrow you. Let's take some photo shoots and go from there. But it's like, I want to be able to implement you into my comic book. And normally, people who share the love don't have a problem with it, and hell, I give them a free signed comic book anyway.
Oh yeah.
And others free swag that I come across. So, my buddies' kids have been spoiled rotten with all the things that I've gone about making and making sure that they get a piece of it. Now, the haters on the other line are the ones who are like, money this, money that, compensation me, and it's just like, you know what? Go back away.
Yeah.
Go.
Well,
I don't need it.
That's what I felt when I met you at RageCon. You had your comic out there, and you had some other cool little art things and variant arts and stuff like that, but you weren't there. I mean, obviously, of course, everybody wants to make money, doing their passion.
Right.
But that, I felt like, wasn't your only goal. You just wanted to share what you thought was so awesome, like what your this passion of yours to write.
Right.
And you loved, you could talk for days about your art, and I was like, you know what, I gotta buy this guy's stuff, because that's the guy that I think will make it, is the guy that's not chasing the dollar, it's the guy that's chasing the dream.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Which I think is awesome and huge.
Because there's no chance for me to just all of a sudden turn around and make a mint off this stuff. It's like for everybody who's starting out, it's like you're gonna be giving away shit. You're gonna be selling your stuff cheaper than you want to.
Metallica got huge off tapes, swapping tapes.
Yep. And that's the thing, getting your name out there.
Yeah.
And if your shit rocks, just like Metallica, then it's gonna start. People are gonna start asking about you. And one of the last best compliments I got was when this at the Game Expo, this lady comes around and says, "When's number 2 coming out?" Just within a half an hour during her lunch break, and read my comic book and came right back around. She's like,
"Oh wow, that's awesome!"
And then she wanted to tell me what she dug the most about the comic, and I had to tell her, I was like, "You're actually one of the first who actually had something to say about that." So I'm definitely the type of person who is listening with both ears about what people say about my comic book. And obviously I'm kind of doing something right, because I haven't gotten one person saying anything negative about it. Art, varies. The trippy thing about what I did do was make it to where I have real life background shots with the actors turned into art, to act out the storyboard of my comic book.
Oh wow.
To make it something that people just haven't seen off the shelves. And yeah, there's so many people who can draw that's unbelievable. And I'm not Marvel quality. There's no friggin' way I'd be able to be like, hey, here's my resume, can I work for you? And they'll be like, psh.
yeah.
But yeah, it's all about having a good, strong idea to run with, and then basically, if you know somebody who can draw fun little stick figures, tell the story that way if you need to. But solely, it's about the story.
I agree. Yeah.
And now that you cracked that, now you're gonna have to read it and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I actually, because I literally haven't taken another out of it until like when you signed it, so
right.
I might just buy your other copy that's sitting right here.
You can have this one.
So I'm gonna read, and I'll definitely make my own injection on it and put it up.
Yeah.
Talk about it, because.
Right.
So as far as like your comic goes and Spout Comics, like what would you like to plug as far as like where would people go to see, to find out what you're doing or what events you're going to be at, like all the social media you use or whatever?
Yeah, the biggest social media that I use is Facebook.
Okay.
I'm always posting where I'm going to be next on Facebook.
Okay.
I dabble just a little bit with Twitter, Instagram. What else is there?
There's like imagery. Well, there's like Tumblr and.
No, not so much Tumblr.
There's Instagram, Twitter.
I think Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is pretty much
it. Those are the big three.
I've gone about trying to find some free websites, but it's just, it's whatever. But through my through Facebook, you can actually hit the icon where you can go and shop, and through Facebook you can go to my Square store and get items from there.
Oh wow, okay. So they can order through your Facebook page?
Right, pretty much, yeah.
Sweet.
They can also PM me if they want to, as far as getting a comic book and whatnot, or other means of art that I have out there.
Okay.
But yeah, at the Great Basin Geeks Con, I do plan to get the Dead Bucks shirt printed. So people who don't know what that is, it's basically me making a zombie out of the Starbucks logo.
I think you had a few stickers like that or something at the at RageCon.
They're pretty much gone, but they like that one. So I'm going to make some T-shirts of that. Also going to bring some new ideas to the table that is not so much associated with Wormwood, but is in fact all about Spout Comics, because Spout Comics, behind that, it's basically whatever I'm going to feel like spouting off with next. That's where I was going with it.
Okay.
So it's not going to just be about zombies. It will. Wormwood does have an end.
Okay.
Now, if there's something that happens to where I'm going to continue on, so be it. But as of right now, there is a beginning and end to Wormwood. And then I do have some other aces up my sleeve that I'm going to throw down that I'm sure that will just be as much, well, if not more fun than it is, gruesome and serious as this. But just to kind of give everybody a heads up about what's about comics, what I'm about.
Okay.
It's just not about horror. It's not about just zombies. There's a lot more that I've been exposed to and can relate with and love. That, like for instance, my next series that has nothing to do with Wormwood is going to be kind of a comedy bit.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to get the ball rolling on that. But it's just a matter of shit, I need to get Wormwood 2 out to the public first.
Yeah.
So that's basically what people are kind of wanting. But up until I get more of that free time to be able to seriously focus and start punching things out, will people be able to see more of me? I mean, sure, I'll be still doing the conventions and stuff. This year, I am congratulating on the fact that I am going to be having my first kid with my wife of 12 years, and that's really kind of taken
awesome.
my focus elsewhere.
Been there.
Yeah. So it's kind of how what I've got going on now is not as extreme when I first started back in 2014. In 2014, at the Sands, the Reno Sands Comic-Con was my debut with Wormwood. I had paintings, I had snowboards, skateboards. So it's like, it's not about just having a comic book on the table. It's button stickers, shirts, whatever.
Yeah, you had all
I
kinds of stuff. I bought one of your little metal
metal little trading cards type thing too.
Which were awesome, I thought.
Yeah, so it's like I try to think about everybody. I put myself on the other side of the table because that's usually where I was at, and what I thought was cool, what I thought what should have been there or could have been there or whatnot. I went about just kind of grabbing all the options that everybody had at the convention and put it at one fucking table to initiate my zombie apocalypse upon everybody.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share at all?
No.
All right. Well, thanks for watching and listening. So remember to go to his Facebook page. I will provide a link below on this video to you can go buy his comic or whatever else you would like to get. And come check him out at Great Basin Con, Geek Con, October 17th and 18th at Reno Old Town Mall. And Rob will be there, and you will get to see all of his awesomeness and meet how really cool he is. So, thanks for watching and listening. Peace out.
Cheers.